Well, hello. Good evening, everyone. Can I please get a mic check? I had a little bit of trouble, which is why I'm just a tad late. Not too late, but a little late. I've also put a poll on what you guys want to start with first. We've got two tonight. If you looked at the thumbnail, you may have recognized Mr. Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Daddy, whatever you want to call him. Let's just call him in a heap of trouble for now. And also, we've got Scofield versus Guillard. Now, you may not recognize the names, but when I say TikTok psychic, perhaps some bells will go off. Anyway, it could be an absolutely enjoyable, rambunctious, and somewhat informative show today. So let me know what direction you want to go into first. As I say hello to everybody, I did say hello. I actually typed it out to a lot of them already. But hey, Arnold, good to see you. Hey, look at the trees. Nice to see you here too. Also, everyone else. Oh, I said hey there. I said yo. I said yo yo, and I said yo rabbits. Hope that's better. Oh, and I have to say, oh hi Mark. Because Tommy Wiseau still cracks me. Oh, cracks me. I can't help it. I just I'm amusing myself. It is Tuesday. If you have tacos, I hope they're good ones. But nope, not the pink sauce lady, although that was lit. She's not the psychic. There's a TikTok psychic. It's even better. Rabbits. And if you don't know about it, I can't wait to tell you. you, you don't Juju, are you under a rock? Like you don't know wait, did you actually say you don't know anything about the P. Diddy allegations? Okay. Well, you're going to get some information in too. Mousy, you had your tacos on Monday? Wait a minute. But it's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. No. Well, whatever makes a Monday better, I'm all for it. Darth, I'm sorry. Terrible for Tuesday? No, it's not. We got True Crime Tuesday. It's not so bad. Maybe we'll entertain you. It'll get a little bit better. A little bit better. Oh, I see it, Liam. I see it. How creative of you. There you go. I don't know about P. Diddy at all, huh? No P. Diddy, no Puff Daddy, no Sean Combs, Okay, well, we'll see. Hi, Paula. Hi, Paula. I'm just killing a few minutes here while we get the allegation. The poll's running kind of close, so I'm waiting until a few of you vote in. But it's nice to see so many of you here. I'll tell you, Darth, I'm sorry if you're not having a good Tuesday. I'm like that every Monday. Although I did enjoy your stream on Monday. It was nice. It was. We're ahead of Wednesday. That's a good way to look at it, Mark, since you are, right? I do believe you are. Did I miss the one? Yeah, I probably did. I don't know I don't know. I've been burritoed all day, to tell you the truth, Liam. And when I was out and about, my nose was in deep in reading article after article after article, watching videos, in reading legal documents in regards to both of these things that we're going to be talking about today. That's how I spent the last 48 hours, actually. I'm so sorry you haven't been feeling well, Paula. I hope that you are feeling much better now. Yeah. I know this song is always in my head, Rabbit song. Like when I say I don't like Mondays, and I say it every Tuesday. I really have to come up with a better line. Yeah, I really do. Oh, Liam, I see it, and it's definitely Tommy Wiseau. Thank you, Liam. I did not forget the banner. I did not. Unfortunately, I did. And not even the comedic melodic tones of Tommy Wiseau can save me from forgetting the band. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. Let me check this poll now. All right, looks like P. Diddy is in the lead. P. Diddy is in the lead on this one right now. Let's start with P. Diddy then. And we're just going to talk about it. There's no presentation, but there's plenty of links. Oh my God, are there links? Links upon links upon links. All right. First of all, this could possibly be, and let's just get it out of the box right away. P. Diddy, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, whatever he goes by now, he is an entertaining mogul. He's got his own record label. He's got his own TV channel thing going on, TV network. He's been a mover and a shaker all the way back to the early 90s when he first had his internship with another record company back in 1991. Okay. He was doing promotionals, and he and a couple of rappers, here on the East Coast. I know a little bit about this, probably, due to a little bit of like East Coast pride or whatever. He's one who made it out of Harlem well. Okay. Nobody could deny that he is part of the big picture in a lot of things out there in Hollywood, in hip hop, rap, the music industry in general, Bad Boy Records and all of that. He's a producer, a mover, a shaker, whatever you want to call it. He made it out. He made big. So most of these stories we hear here on the East Coast, everything he does. Back in the early 90s, he did a promotion to I believe it was a charity basketball game where they were trying to do a fundraiser for someone in locally. And his first scandal, and we're going to start with allegations because one of the allegations that's coming forward is P. Diddy's always been in the shit. Where he's always got something going on that could be quite problematic legal wise, in trouble wise, and yet he comes out clean every damn thing, like he's surrounded by a washing machine or a dry cleaning unit, kind of like a Teflon Don. All the way back in the early 90s, this promotional gig that they were doing, they did not actually hire people that were qualified for the crowd that they were going to have. And they thought they would have hundreds, and they ended up with thousands. Okay. Thousands. Okay. And when they were all leaving the auditorium, there was a stampede, and a lot of people were injured. Some people died, and there was huge problem lawsuit there to begin with. And so starts the litigious, troublesome history of Sean Combs. Now, P. Diddy also had some trouble in his youth and growing up, but why talk about all that? Because, everybody does. That's his back. This is his in the popularity. This is him trying to make his mark and be somebody and be in the news. So it makes it fair game. Like he was at that time trying to make a name for himself. And make a name for himself, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Using scapegoats and cat paws. Yes, he does, Darth. When I listened to Law 26 yesterday, or the 48 Laws of Power by Mr. Green over there with Darth Hideous on his channel, I did think a lot about P. Diddy because I had been reading about it all day. And he does do a lot of cat's paw. That is the allegation. And remember, this is opinion and commentary, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, P. Diddy has had quite a few little law cases go back and forth to where he's had some trouble, okay? Like with Sting, where he has to pay him $5,000 a day for using his song sampling in his hip hop and didn't exactly acquire the rights, the way you really should in the music industry. I kid you not, $5,000 a day to this day. I actually checked that out. There's not a rumor. I thought, no way is that really true going on. But yeah, I did a little research, and apparently it appears to still be true. Sting gets $5,000 a day from P. Diddy because he did that. That was a case that P. Diddy lost. Okay. But these are not the allegations that are going on right now. What's come to light is, let's just start with dates. In the beginning of November, I believe on the 16th of November, his long-term love interest and signed to his record label and, in and out of his life for a long time, Cassie filed a lawsuit accusing him of decades of abuse and bad behavior and things done to her against her will. But on November 18th, Sean Combs, P. Diddy, and Cassie came to a mutual agreement and the lawsuit was pulled and there was a settlement. That was reported by both of their lawyers within 24 hours. Okay. However, the lawsuit itself, with all its salacious details, was put everywhere. Which brings me, first question I have, and perhaps you too, a couple of you there in the chat, you usually kind of go the way I go with thinking about this kind of stuff. Well, since it was already out there and published, why settle within 24 hours? It already took the hit to his reputation. Already put all the gross stuff out there. Already said all the horrible things and put the pictures in people's heads. And it was out there. It was public. The whole damn thing was available for everybody to read. And he settled within 24 hours. And to get her to get that quiet within 24 hours, it must have been quite the settlement, although we don't get to know because neither party is speaking about the agreement. Part of the agreement was that nobody's going to talk about it and no details are released, which is standard. I mean, that's not shady at all. But it did, tip my curiosity. And probably that of a few others. It would be not proper for me to inform you and remind you that right around now is the loophole at the New York survivors law loophole. The adult survivors loophole will be closing. It's not uncommon that people would be coming forward with claims. It's the last time they will be able to. 2 other lawsuits were filed, one right after the other. One of them, look at the name of this person. Her name is Joy something Nicholson. Yeah. Let's see. Neil. And she filed a lawsuit also. And then another Jane Doe. Okay. A couple of days later. All right. After the third lawsuit was filed, he stepped down from his TV network Revolt as CEO. Okay. And what's been going on since then is quite a few companies have backed away from him. Well, that's not the worst of it. Okay. Now, it's easy to push back, and Sean Combs is. He's saying these people are filing these lawsuits because the window is disappearing and they're just after quick money, especially since he just settled with Cassie. It looked like he'd be willing to settle rather than have this arm. So there's a rush to the courts. This all happened, in the New York courts, all over in Manhattan, all of New York Supreme Court, all over. Okay. Now, these are civil, actual. Let's just be clear about that. No criminal charges for assault have been filed against P. Diddy. That's a very good distinction, and I'm glad you said it, Darth, so that I could make sure that everyone's really clear about that. You know what civil means. I want my right, I want my wrong to be righted, and I want you to pay for it, basically. Also, the laws of evidence are much looser in civil than they are in criminal. Criminal law cases, you actually need the parties of law and justice to actually pick up your case and file your charge for you. I know they're all kind of filing, separately, Juju, not all at the same time. It's not like they organized it, but it does look a little like, it looks like a domino effect to me, kind of. They're like a couple of days apart. It's not organized like they tried to do with Marilyn Manson. Like they all came out on the same day. I mean, really, people? Yeah. It was like all with your prepared statements and your microphones running for interviews, yeah. It's not the same day like it was with Marilyn Manson. But it does look like, a domino effect. It could be these, reading the room, it does look like the loophole closing in New York is a big part of it. All of these are being filed in New York. Cassie she filed hers. It was big. Okay. Now, Joy followed one. Then there was another Jane Doe. Okay. But the last one to hit in December, after he left Revolt, he left the TV network Revolt. He stepped down as CEO amidst the controversy until this all gets straightened out. Uh, is a little more salacious. The other ones are all about adults, okay? And they do say that things were forced. They said that they were either drugged. One of them is saying that she had dinner with him and she feels like perhaps she was drugged because by the time they got to the place that he was renting, she couldn't even get out of the car. And he actually helped her, assisted her by lifting her and got her into the car and then had his way with her against her will, or that she couldn't fight back. I mean, we would have to actually see the testimony, hear the actual affidavit of what actually happened there from both sides to decide. But she is alluding to the fact that she may have been drugged or she was incapacitated in some way and could not give consent. All right. Cassie's, and I will actually give you the link to my Google Drive where the two public lawsuits actually are listed. Sorry about that. Trying to get the link, and I ended up turning YouTube on by mistake. Let me open the link and you copy the link. Okay, here's the link. If someone could check this link, make sure it's still shareable. I did make it. Both the lawsuits are in this one. Hopefully, you'll be able to open their PDF. Usually, I file everything that way to make it easy readable for you guys. But Cassie's complete lawsuit's in there, and so is, I believe, Joy's. I believe the Jane Doe's is in there. Okay, also, which makes it really trigger warning. Okay, it's hard to put a trigger warning on a Google Drive, but I will just tell you that if we're covering these kind of allegations, the wording and the descriptions of what is going on is real, and you guys need to take care of yourselves. Okay, I trust you all to take care of yourselves. Okay. Thank you, Liam. Hopefully both cases are listed in there and you're able to get in. Okay, cool. Thank you, Shell. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Aaron. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Hey, Tony. Nice to see you too. Anyone else that I missed coming in? It's good to see you too. Commander, all of you. Okay, great. So the reason I'm not showing anything on the screen is I don't want to accidentally show some of the more salacious parts and, have YouTube decide that my video should be red or yellow again. I've been running pretty well green all the time, unless I'm hanging out with Mrs. Cassandra, and then sometimes it's a little yellow like it was with AIT. I don't know what we said on AITA, but they refused to not make it yellow. I don't know. Maybe it's just her and I together. They're scared. I don't know. I know it's fair use and I can show them. It's a matter of getting all the feedback in regards to what they say. Okay. Because they use real language and there's certain things that people tend to report me for. And that's like using, the real language, like calling assault really what it is, and stuff like that. And I just get tired of sending the emails, rabbits. So I decided to just share the information today instead of putting it up there. Yeah, well, it's nice that you get to stay greenlit. If you're not monetized, they really don't check, Darth. So when you do get monetized, the challenge shall begin. The challenge shall begin then, So anyway, where we are with these cases, there are 3 civil lawsuits. Okay, 2 Jane Doe's and Joy Daniels Neal. Last name. It's a hyphenated name. Okay. They're pretty salacious in the details, but the last one involves a minor. And, not like a child, but 17 years old, although that's still legally a minor. And actually, this one, after investigation, depending on the time frame and mitigating circumstances, could lead to criminal charges. It was a minor. So we shall see. The difference between civil and criminal is a lot. Okay. And I wouldn't say that whenever there's a bunch of allegations like this, that sometimes investigations do happen, but there's the statute of limitations, so there has to be mitigating situation as to why you didn't file at the time. Um, for example, Cassie's lawsuit, she was in a long-term relationship with him. That's a mitigating circumstance right there. Fear of retaliation or close proximity, having calming children or family in regards. Being tied into the person financially. They could all be presented as mitigating circumstances why they did not report an assault or didn't file charges about an assault. Um, there's many reasons. The mental health involved in it, the pressure, any kind of mitigation situation like that. We saw mitigating circumstances brought forward in the Masterson trial in regards to the Church of Scientology interfering in the women filing the charges to begin with. And that way the statutes of limitation could have gone through. We also saw mitigating circumstances in that case in the fact that there were 3 of them, to where they could use that law that in their state that actually allows them to pursue regardless of statute of limitations when it was a repeat offender. That's why he filed all 3 together, the prosecutor in that case, to bring them forward. Or one may not have been able to because of the length of time. Remember, there was 20 years on Masterson between the time of the offense and the time that everything came forward. So, now, in regards to P. Diddy, those allegations are one thing. They all seem to be quite salacious. They're all about partying. They're all about forcing women to have sex with other partners in front of them. In regards to the 17-year-old, it appears to be more than one person involved in that P. Diddy caused a situation to where there was possibly a gang assault at the time. There's been violence reported in all of these claims. And kind of, I'm not going to say anything about the sexual allegations that are going on here. There's no way for us to know. I will say that when Cassie dropped her lawsuit, there were quite a few people that came forward to say certain parts of it they could document as they were there. It's true. We will collaborate it, especially the part where she accused P. Diddy of blowing up another guy's car, another rapper, someone who was pursuing Cassie at the time. He was a little bit jealous and he blew up his car. And actually, there are people that came forward and collaborated that. There are some public, some things that happened at parties that people collaborated. There was quite a few situations that people just came forward to collaborate with her. So that part could have been organized, but it did look like she had some support and it didn't look like a money grab right there. However, was it used to settle perhaps her lifestyle or money she needed for children and things like that? I don't know. And we're probably not going to know. It's settled. Okay. But the reason that I am interested in the case is not the salacious details of the sexual allegations. My interest in this is that all of a sudden everybody's talking about the long history of P. Diddy's terrible reputation. Nobody was talking about it before. Okay. But now when you put it all together, everybody's like, well, why? Like he's been like this all along. Like what's going on? Like he's just a bad dude. Okay. Do you remember when he dated Jennifer Lopez and there was the shooting incident? Okay. And then somebody from his crew actually took full blame for it and went to jail and actually said, I'm just covering for P. Diddy at the end. When he came out, there were interviews that he said that, he was, stitches, snitches get stitches and all of that stuff. And it was one of those situations. Okay. Let's not forget Bad Boy Records and Biggie Smalls in his death. Oh, and let us not forget, go all the way back to the beginning of his record company, and the 5 people that helped him organize it are all dead. Every single one of them. Gone. Now, back in his first early days, when he was just an intern for another record company, I remember when he got fired. Okay. And I'll leave all the names and the details after it because I'll drop you a video that documents all this clearly and very well and was actually very entertaining to watch. And I have it linked below. The young lady who did that video, she's young, she's quirky, she's got the history, and she's got a real knack for spinning out details, names, and facts in a quite entertaining way. And I think you'll enjoy it. But she will bring to mind that it is, and give you the names and the facts of where he worked and all. But the man he worked for ended up firing P. Diddy and actually came forward and said it's not because he didn't do his job. It's because there are only one king in a business. Like P. Diddy was very good at his job. He's also very good at networking, and he's very good at control, and he's very good at taking over things. And this guy probably did the right thing. He said he let P. Diddy go. He called him Puff at the time, or Sean. Well, he let him go because he needed to make his mark in the world, and he was going to be something, and he didn't want to hold him back while, protecting his own empire from being usurped, so to speak. There's two sides to that story. But it did play out well, and, Puff Daddy did go on to make a big name for himself. Remember Sean Don, his clothing line? He's always immaculately dressed. He's always like, there's not really the public face of Sean Combs is not really anything one could complain about. But maybe that's why everybody's complaining. Maybe that's why the allegations are all out here. Because also, it makes it like if nothing sticks to him or anything, that people are just going to keep at him, like he must be doing something. But I say, well, maybe not. Maybe not. I think this just might be a bunch of stuff like aligning all at the same time. It could be a little of the Me Too movement gone terribly wrong again. People are looking to get some money because now that they think about their relations with P. Diddy, maybe it wasn't exactly what they wanted, and it can be twisted into a money grab, or maybe they did feel pressure. Who knows? I mean, when someone is that famous, influential, and, very determined to have their way, throw in a little ego, a little narcissism, a little money will buy you anything entitlement, and things can go wrong. Pressure can exist, and, liberties can be taken. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying a pressure cooker situation could evolve. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a money grab. Maybe he's a horrible person behind the scenes. Maybe it's all true. But there's the maybe of it all. The big if. The word allegations. What I can tell you that's going on is a large smear campaign. What I can tell you that's going on to P. Diddy right now is he's losing money left and right. There are articles out right now. I mean, I pulled one up earlier today on 18 companies flee Sean Combs' latest business as allegations mount. Okay. They felt that moral imperative to end their relationships with him while everything gets checked out. It's as it was a growing list, they say, of allegations, one after another, more than a dozen have separated from him. You know, especially after the one in regards to the 17-year-old. Once that came forward, it was really detrimental to his situation currently right now. Economically, he's being just reputation-wise, it's hard to paddle back from this kind of stuff. Terribly. I feel for him. He's out there saying enough is enough, that all of this is a money grab, things that are settled are coming forward. But people are starting to dig into his long, litigious past in a lot of the things that have happened and how did he get out of it, But like Darth said, it's about, some of the manipulation of getting all the other people around you involved and using the cat's paw, always having somebody else do your dirty work, so to speak. Either way, he's a mogul. He's one of the few people out here that when I think of them, I think mogul. He had his fingers in lots of different enterprises. It wasn't just music. It was the entertainment industry in itself. Then he went into fashion. He's into a lot of things, okay, in production and everything else. The word mogul, comes forward to me. And to say that he's a self-made man, I would say yes, he is. Knowing that he was raised by his mom and his grandmom with no father figure here in Harlem, Okay, that he went to private school, which I know because my ex's aunt actually taught him. She was a nun. And back then, private schools were almost always run, by nuns in some religious organization. But he didn't go to public, so he went to private school. He was a decent student, and she loved to tell stories about him. He was quite enterprising, she would say. But even back then, he usually isn't the one who got into trouble, even when he was in the midst of it. And my aunt would tell stories. My ex-in-law aunt would tell stories about this. And at the time, you don't think anything really of it, you know. But you do later. You do later. Okay. In regards to the 17-year-old, that offense happened in Detroit, and it was over 20 years ago. These claims are old. Uh, They are. That would make the young woman around 37 now. You know, she was described as a high school student. Okay. She's saying that the assault happened after he flew her from a private jet on a private jet to from where she lived in Michigan to New York, and actually the assault happened in the bathroom of the studio that was his studio at the time, in that there was two other men involved. Well, I said that he not only contributed, but that he was into voyeurism about it. Mm. But that's all the detail I want to go into that. The complaint is filed in the district court in Manhattan because of where it happened. Okay. Uh, both parties don't live there anymore. Okay. When it comes to Cassie Ventura, I mean, that case is all settled and it's all confidential. We're not going to really get any details, but her complaint is still public and out there. Okay, it was published and filed, and they're not going to be able to take that back. All she can do is do a written statement, which she has not done, to say that none of it's true. And I'm wondering if the information in this filed lawsuit will be used in any of the other cases, or the fact that it was filed. He has not gone to trial for it. It's not a case that he has to defend himself for, but I wonder if just the fact that it's out there and filed and their close relationship will be used. Hey, Mrs. C. Mhm. Well, some of your comments are making me like crack up a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to see if you actually have questions. But mostly just really like um decent comments in regards to the what could be quite funny. Yeah. Well, all right. So in regards to Diddy, like I said, it's all allegations right now, but there is a lot of information here in regards to his long history. Okay. And it is unfortunate that, well, in advertising and in business, of course, you want people that are representing your business, to represent it in a good light. You don't necessarily um, you don't want the face of someone facing all of these allegations as you representing your company. It's a bad look. It really is. Here's the link to the video that's done by Noir. Um, this young lady, I do like her. She's quite entertaining. Noor Jasmine. She's doing a pretty much a long history by date and era of some of the allegations and rumors and things that were proven, some of the stuff that was going on. Because another reason that I wanted to look at this is P Diddy, Puff Daddy, or Diddy, or can I just call him Sean? Sean Combs. I mean, that's his name. I mean, that's how we know him here on the East Coast. I tell you, Sean Combs, well, he's also linked loosely to what's the Tupac case. Okay, Tupac Shakur, because those were the actual record companies that were going at each other. It was his, record company and the other, and there were opposite gangs and stuff going on back and forth. And there's always been rumor that he had something to do with it. And there was the death of Biggie Smalls, who was signed on him. There's been a lot of gang affiliation that was not necessarily denied. There's a whole big kind of gang circle mentality about the whole thing. So I'm wondering where it will lead, And I'm telling you, I think there might be something here, okay? But it's all allegedly. You're right, Darth. You have to keep saying the word allegedly, although it's in the title. And anything I say is opinion. But I am really curious about the tie-in to the Tupac Shakur case, because that is now, after all these years, coming to trial with one of the last survivors of one of the vehicles. Okay. And Keefy D, who was running a gang that was affiliated with the whole thing at the time, and says that he knows a lot of the information. He's been out there talking about it, and that's kind of what got him charged, okay? Because in the charges he's up against, he didn't have to pull the trigger. He admits to supplying the weapon, being in the car, knowing all about it. And accessory to murder can still get you murder. In this country, yup. He didn't have to pull the trigger. No one even had to see him do it. They can actually build a case based on what he has said and evidence to back it up. Right? Hey, Charlie, it's good to see you. I didn't see you come in, but I'm glad that you're here. Yeah. Juggling all of those streams has got to be tough there, Darth. You're going to drive yourself crazy. You tell them, Juju, stop yelling. No caps in the chat. Like people get upset about that, Darth. It's like, and I shouldn't tell you not to, because I have a feeling you're just going to do it more. But anyway, if you guys don't have questions, this is what's going on. This man is losing money. There's 18 companies backed away. He's already stepped down from his TV network Revolt. Okay. It's not a good day for him. He's already made a large settlement to someone he was personally involved with a really, really long time, Cassie Ventura. And so, not a good run right now for P. Diddy. He said that he actually came forward with his lawyer. He put out a statement recently that he says none of this is true. This is just a money grab. And, it's a standard statement. And he looks forward to being able to prove it. He hopes that everything gets tossed. And there is the chance, because you guys know the procedure here, right? Like, they're going to file a motion to dismiss based on not enough information, statute limitations, blah, 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 non-cooperating evidence, you name it. There's many, many reasons they could get this tossed, and they're going to try. Okay. And it will be up to a judge, the court, to actually look at things and see if these civil cases should go forward. Okay. Now, also, in the case of the 17-year-old, that's the mitigating circumstances based on age and violence and things being done against their will. There's actually a claim of violence here and being underage. So authorities will be probably taking a little look at that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know of an active investigation. It just doesn't make any sense that there wouldn't be one. But, stranger things have happened, of course. Of course, right? Stranger things have happened. But on that, without any questions, okay, I think I'm going to move on to our TikTok psychic case. Okay. Well, here we go. For those of you new to it that have not heard about it, Rebecca Scofield is a professor at the university in Idaho, where the 4 students were murdered back in November last year. Okay. Ashley Guillard is a TikTok creator who says that she has solved the case with her psychic ability. Her spirits have told her that Rebecca Scofield, the professor, was having an affair with one of the victims and organized the whole murder to cover it up. Rebecca Scofield has sued Ashley Guillard for defamation and damage and damages, including, uh, her mental state and all kinds of things, and, not being able to function. Um, Ashley Guillard fought back and filed a countersuit doing the same. Ashley Guillard did over 100 TikTok videos claiming that she solved this case. Her psychic abilities told her so. Her spirit guides led her to the real criminal. Okay. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was glad that Rebecca Scofield fought back and filed the case. Okay. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Like that somebody would go that far, 100. Like she was asked to stop. She was told it wasn't true. She was threatened with a lawsuit. She didn't care. She just kept going forward. All right. She went so forward. Okay. Now, when we talked about this before, I did tell you that she's representing herself, which makes it quite a, quite the thing. Definitely representing herself. And if you want to know how well, here's the Idaho link to the public case. It is a big case, so it is public. You can get the records here in Idaho. There was some recent filings that are quite entertaining if you like that stuff. Okay. And in regards to the latest filings, Leonard French did a lovely Twitch stream in regards to it. And I had to get, I love Leonard. Just his, he takes a nice, very easy legal format. He's, man, is he brilliant when it comes to legal. And but he's usually copyright law. But he took an interest in this one. And it was really hard for him not to keep, to keep his snark in check when he talked about it. So I wanted to promote the video because I'm not the only one that finds it very, very difficult to actually speak about this case without just rolling in the one-liners every like 2 seconds, because it is absolutely ridiculous. Not only is the psychic defending herself, she didn't even get a lawyer. She missed timely deadlines. She missed all kinds of opportunities to file certain motions. And that's going to be evident when we talk about the recent filings. Because recently, her motion to dismiss the case was tossed. Absolutely. Okay. Because, number one, Rebecca Scofield does have a right to defend herself here in this in with the court case, because Ashley TikTok psychic is what I was going to call her instead of Ashley Guillard. See, he's like really hard to do it with a straight face, but she actually put forward that she's allowed to say this because it's true, because she knows with no other evidence but her psychic ability that it's true, and therefore you cannot file defamation against her because it needs to be untrue. It needs to be not true. But she knows it's true, and she put this in the legal filing because her spirit guides told her. Yeah, I'm with you on this, Juju. The cards told her not to get a lawyer. She may have read them wrong. I do agree. She needs a lawyer because she's messing up left and right. Okay, so her recent filings were on venue and whether or not the court had authority for jurisdiction. And it got tore apart because, yes, Ashley may be in Texas and run her YouTube out of Texas, but she spoke about an Idaho crime 100 times, 100 separate videos, and about an Idaho law professor, all residing there. So actually the offense and the topic are all from Idaho. And yes, Rebecca Schofield's filed in Idaho, and she's got every right to. So they're going to toss that too. Well, here's the little caveat that, although the court is having some leniency with her because she's representing herself, they couldn't hold back from mentioning, and oh, by the way, you should have brought up venue first before the timeline for venue complaints drew out. Like, we're well past this type of motion and claim. Like, you should have filed on that well before this. and time frame. She's not tracking the time frame. She's not. Then she said that she didn't have to participate, and she did not have to go forward with their authority. And yet she had filed like several motions prior, agreed to the scheduling of the actual the way they do the hearings and everything. They both have to sign off on receiving it and making notations on when they're available or not, and deadlines and information, even discovery. And then she files a motion to dismiss because they don't have venue and they don't have jurisdiction. Like the wrong order. Like before you actually were actively participating in the case, you should have been filing about jurisdiction and venue if that's where you were going to go. Like she kind of did it backwards. But anyway, it's a good case that those of you that are interested in like legal shenanigans, it's full of them. It's absolutely full of them, you know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking I think they actually did. You know what? You didn't even know there were people in Idaho till Brian Koberger. I get it. Like, yeah, Idaho. Well, yeah, we've had quite a few cases out of Idaho. We had a Vallow and Daybell. We're still dealing with them also. We'll have more about that either during the week or next week on that. There's been some updates there, but Idaho's been popping as far as cases go. Yeah. You know, Ashley TikTok. Yes, Mrs. Cassandra. Ashley Guillard is the TikTok psychic. And I can't get that out of my head yet. Hmm. Yeah. That's it. They wanted to make sure if the court had authority, and actually the court came back with a file and kicked everything that she filed out and just said, I'm sorry. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Absolutely, we do. So on for many, many different reasons. She went after three different types of jurisdiction on them, and Leonard in that video that I dropped does a really good job of explaining all three of the different types and why it was so ludicrous that she did this. It was quite entertaining. I actually watched that one this morning. I already had everything I wanted to say about this, and then I watched Leonard's video and I was just like cracking up. And I do think that you'll enjoy it if you're not already following him. Um, he's quite entertaining on that. So yeah, I'm giving you videos to watch because I think they're really, really good. Nor Jasmine did a great job on the P. Diddy timeline of all these other things and the history of P. Diddy's climb to mogulism. Is that a word? Mogulism. I mean, it should be mogul that it is, that he is, top of the heap. Okay. And unfortunately, when you get really big like that, there's always going to be people trying to tear you down. And you don't make a lot of friends. And sometimes you make some serious enemies. And I don't know what's going on with this, but like Juju had mentioned in there, they are all kind of coming out at the same time within the same 4 or 5 weeks. I get that, but there's also the time frame that the loophole for the New York State Adult Survivors Act is actually closing, and that is probably more of an instigator for moving forward than anything. Okay. Well, was there something with Cassie coming forward and not getting settled so quick that enticed people? Perhaps. Takes all kinds of people, you know. But I don't know. You can file any civil case you want. Whether it holds water and goes forward is another thing. And that's what we're going to have to wait and see in regards to the P. Diddy allegations. We got to wait and see what goes forward and what doesn't. Because look at the Russell Brand. They came out in an article with all those accusations. There's all this investigation going on. We haven't heard a peep about any charges of any type against him. Even though England and the United States are both investigating. Nothing. Now, that's not that unusual because investigations take time. Justice moves slowly. Investigations take a lot of time. It's not uncommon that we hear that investigation was going on for years and years and years. But here's the thing about Russell Brand's case. They already admit that investigation has been going on since 2017. They haven't charged him. So what is there, really? Except for things we don't necessarily find to be something we would do, but they were consenting adults. Like, so? Like, did he break the law? Because if he did, wouldn't they have charged him by now? Same thing. I don't like to see people getting slammed in the media like this with all they all go crazy. But here I am too talking about it. But I'm just trying to put the information out and put a little common sense to it too. It doesn't always the way it seems. Looks like he's a sexual deviant if you read everything about P. Diddy right now. What is he? Did he? Did he? I mean, just ask. We gotta wait and see everything, right? So let's not run with it. Like, even if he's not our favorite person, I will say he's got a checkered background. You can look into it. It may be pertinent. Okay. It is at least a very entertaining video. And I think it was done not in a way to try to slam him. I really don't. I think it was made in a way to lay out the history in some of the more interesting things that people will be talking about. Because everything that she puts the facts out are coming out in some salacious other way in headlines and in the media. At least she gives you the whole thing instead of just the headline and the little blurb to try to make it like a big gossip story, like the laid down lazy journalists are doing in the mass media right now, just getting a headline, writing 2 paragraphs, slamming the hell out of him, not giving you the whole side of the story. It's not really very fair. But then again, since when has it been? Yes, Rabbit, somebody did. We don't really want to talk about. Okay, I will bring it up because I mean it's a valid question. But yes, the person who took my cat ears was actually came forward and confessed, and everything's been worked out. We're still friends. We went through therapy. We deal with it. It comes up once in a while, like when somebody asks, but I would say that everything's okay. I mean, we can't really say don't speak about it, but let me just tell you that everything's okay, you know. And Mark, this is a good point. Let's face it, we all envy his fame and lifestyle. Exactly. Not no one that I know in my circle or anywhere can live the way he lives. Okay. It's totally out there. It's totally out there. Okay. Exactly what a cyclic wants to hear. Exactly, except for the jurisdiction and everything. Basically, back to Ashley Gilliard, the judge is kind of kindly letting her know she really needs to get a lawyer, like in a nice way. If she's going to represent herself, she's going to be responsible for keeping timelines and understanding the law here and the way things are done. And she just didn't have adequate knowledge of procedure. So he's giving her a little bit of a pass, but he still kicked everything out. Rebecca Scofield's case is going forward. Um, she also did some discovery requests where she wanted to know what was said to the lawyers, which is no, that's not going to happen. But also in her affidavit, she actually admits to doing the 100 TikToks, and they've all been submitted in everything that she said. But her defense is that it's all true, which the court had a really hard time putting in writing and trying not to sound snarky because like they couldn't believe it either. Like, just here's what they said: just saying it's true doesn't make it true. You have to be able to prove it if you're going to use that as a defense. And unfortunately, saying my psychic abilities don't are what proves it's true, just because you don't understand it. She even attacked the court system saying, you do not have jurisdiction over me because you do not believe in psychic abilities, or that they could tell the truth. Like, she actually went there. She's actually going with the thing that unless you believe in what I do and that I'm right, you can't have jurisdiction over me. You can't like do this. It was quite entertaining. I think she's a little out of her element, and I'm wondering if she's okay. Like, I can't believe the audacity, actually. Seriously. I mean, this is serious. She's not treating this lawsuit like it's serious. And it is. She actually even said, I need Rebecca to Scofield to prove that there was over $75,000 worth of damage done to her reputation, because that's the amount you have to hit for you to be able to do this. Um, yep. Yes, we are, Mandy. We're talking about the TikTok psychic from Professor Fano. Yeah. I mean, I don't trust the TikTok psychic's ability. I think I made a big joke about it the first time I spoke about this. If she's getting information from her spiritual guides Well, they're having a big joke on her. Like they really don't like her much right now with all the advice that they're giving her. She's getting herself into a lot of hot water. Rebecca Scofield, for the record, has been cleared from by the investigation as having no connection to the four students whatsoever, let alone had an affair with any of them. There's no conspiracy that they can link to there. They can find no threads of commonality at all. Okay. Mm. Yeah, they might be. I think they were, they think it's funny. They might have been drinking that day, Mandy. I don't know. And it's nice to see you, by the way. Welcome. You know. I would not let her predict anything, even if the water dish was empty, Juju. I wouldn't want her predicting that perhaps she should fill the water dish. This woman seems to be a bit unhinged. And she's unhinged to the point that she's not dealing in reality. Okay. This is a lawsuit, and she's actually filing, like going through pages and pages of documentation and spending money on filing fees with these ridiculous counterclaims and stuff is absolutely, it's actually crazy and a bit humorous, which is why I'm following it. Not only because, well, number one, I'm glad that Rebecca Schofield like took the helm and fought back. I mean, it got to be so ridiculous. And she's not the only one suffering from this. What about the families in the actual crime, the area itself, Idaho itself, where the crimes happen? Like, just this woman's like making a ridicule, humiliating and ridiculous statements in regards to all of it. And it's just painful for everybody involved. And the fact that, a professor of Rebecca Schofield's, she actually is an instructor in criminology, by the way. She's very well paid. And the fact that there are days she couldn't go to work because of the area that it's in the case itself with the students dying, it was traumatic. And then to have a light shine on you that you may be personally involved with it, ruining your reputation, damaging your personal reputation. You have a husband and relationships going on, trying to say you were messing around with students. Like, are you serious? Like, how could you say that doesn't damage someone's reputation? Listen, Ashley Guillard, she's out there. She's coming from all sides of wrong on this, hmm I think, Mandy, that like maybe she just didn't give him enough credit. Like these her spirit guides are really setting her down the wrong path. She's going to have a humbling experience, a very humbling experience. And she's trying to, and then everybody, she did hundreds of videos, okay, 100 videos, okay, and then told the court that she didn't make any money. And that is actually going to be a legal problem for her because during discovery, they're going to ask for her records and they're going to show that she was making money on TikTok. Okay. But she signed an affidavit that said, you can't come at me for damages that I made money on you and ruined your reputation when I didn't make any money. I don't think she did 100 videos because she wasn't making any money. I really don't. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she proudly from the second the lawsuit was filed, she went against it and said, she just doubled down. She didn't stop producing. She actually put out more content after the lawsuit was filed, which keeps getting added to it. She actually doubled down on it. She has a big following. I don't know if it's people just watching it because it's so ridiculous or they believe what she's saying, but the salacious nature of it and how they wanted to tear down somebody else's reputation was horrible. Exactly, Rabbit's Lake. You know what? Yeah, she did make money. Yeah. Well, she forgets that they're going to be able to allow, get all of this information. They are going to be able to subpoena the records. Yeah, maybe the people she did personal readings for asked for their money back and it ended in a wash. You know what? Maybe for her it ended in a wash, but her personal readings don't have anything to do with what she said in the Idaho TikTok videos. And as long as those videos made money, that ain't going to save her butt, Juju. Unfortunately, her net could be zero, but that would be due to her other iffy iffy things that she did and not this one. She's only getting sued for this iffy thing. So only everything in regards to this iffy thing is going to be pertinent. A good lawyer will be able to knock that wash argument right out the window. Don't you think? Yeah. These spirit guides are highly unreliable and inaccurate. I'm sticking with GPS. I would too, Jin. Although occasionally I do think my GPS is possessed. Yes. You're getting a bear? I hear someone with authority. Her name starts with a C. Makes sense to anyone? I'm also getting a bear. Oh, they're so psychic, rabbits. You're so psychic. Yes. God, don't know. Yep. That's the crust of it right there, Mousy. Well said. She gained followers and views, and that in turn raised her revenue. There's no denying history. They're going to go back to when those TikToks started to be made, the amount that she made, what she said. And if it's like YouTube, they can tell how much is made on every single one of them, you know? So, yup. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's not going to go. Like, it's not going to go. Yeah. Your phone is possessed, Mousy. I know my gadgets, they just seem to have a mind of their own sometimes, don't they? Maybe we should start doing TikToks on it, Mousy. We could make a lot of money, you think? We do YouTube shorts, yeah, and make like 52 cents. I don't know. Mhm. I I don't know. I do not know. Mm. I don't know what else to say about this case except for ridiculous. And I am glad that the court system, although giving her a little bit of patience, I will admit, like they did answer her to quite a lengthy dismissal and tried to give her enough information that she could actually learn a bit, like maybe she needs a lawyer, hopefully. Mm. Mm. She'll say she's going back to debunking misinformation on Twitter things in the community, and it gives you anxiety. Debunking can give you anxiety because you could do your best to show them in black and white, and people are going to believe what they're going to believe. We all know that. Like there's just a whole contrarian part of everything, you know, that just, it gets hard to deal with. It doesn't matter if you say the facts. I'm looking right at legal documents, and people will come in and say, I actually had people on my tape video come in and say, you don't know what you're talking about. Like they dropped that case. I'm like, what? Like, do you like, yeah, I saw it on Twitter. They dropped that case. Andrew Tate said there's no case. It's all closed. I'm like, no. Like, boo, you need to learn to read. Let me give you some stuff to read. Let me help you out there. Can I get you a tutor? Like, I nearly lost my mind. But like, people are gonna believe what they want. About what they want. I'm just saying, everybody needs to check everything out for themselves. Me, I like black and white. I like the facts. Do I like to make a little fun of it and be a little snarky? Oh yeah, absolutely, I do. Am I going to have an opinion about it and some commentary? Sure. But I'm going to share the actual facts of the information and let you guys go get a YouTube channel and say whatever you want to, or say it in my chat, even say it on the back of my videos, say it in my DMs, whatever. We all have a voice, and I encourage everybody to use it. But like, if you're going to come out with an opinion and say something is so, please be prepared with the backup information to share with everybody. Because otherwise, it's just like, you know, buttholes. Everybody's got one in an opinion. Well, if you don't have anything to back it up, that's all it's going to be. you know, Talking out our ass, so to speak. Okay. And I think that most of us here don't really want to do that. We want the information. We look for the information. We want to see what's going on both sides. Am I threatening you? Why do you say that, Darth? Why would I ever threaten you? Like, why? Why would I threaten anyone, actually? I'm just saying, we all need to look at all the information, because it does make for well-rounded opinion, and it makes for, good conversation. And if you can discuss both sides of the cases with everybody, that is the way it should be. I do believe, I do. Hmm. I'm not deflecting, Darth. What am I threatening you about? Like, you know what I'm threatening? I am going to threaten you. Stop it. Stop getting me off track. Damn it. Like, how's that? That's not a threat. That was a request. Like, I don't know what I'm threatening about. Oh, Mousy is threatening to take Darth's booze. Well, perhaps. Yeah. There's a good suggestion. Juju's got a good one. Either call the TikTok psychic or ask the cards how I feel about you. I don't have any threatening thoughts about you at all, Darth. I kind of, I would, I don't even know what to say. No, there's nothing ambiguous about that at all. I just don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what I said that made you think I was threatening you. But believe me, when I threaten, like, I just come out. I'm all Jersey. Like, I either swing a bat or it comes with a bunch of expletives. Ask my friends. Like, Mandy, right? Like, do I threaten quietly? No. Like, if I'm going to threaten you, it's like, it's pretty obvious. Yeah. Mm. Pseudoscience shite. Yes, rabbits. The world is full of it. Is full of it. Um, the world is full of pseudo everything, and it really is annoying to me. It's one of my pet peeves. Did you hear it in Beavis's voice? Oh God, you guys are too much. Oh God. That Darth, that's so now I'm being threatened. I feel I'm being harassed now. Like, I know Queen of Swords, the Hangman, Death, those are your cards. Like, I am not threatening you. Stop it. And everybody knows the Hangman and Death are not necessarily bad. It's new adventure. It could be something interesting. Those are not actually bad cards, Darth. I think you need to read. I think you need to read up on that. Ask a couple of people. Yeah. What we get a hold of that TikTok psychic. Maybe her spirit guides are gonna like you a whole lot better than they like her right now. We'll tell you something good, Yeah, all partying at the tower, Liam. That's right, with all that mayhem going on, fire coming out the windows, people jumping off the top of the building. Oh yeah, let's go. I don't know how we got here, but I'm just gonna go with it because it's kind of fun. But I think my show is done. I think I've said all I can say about P. Diddy, except for, like, check the research. Yes, the mass media is full of it, but there is a long litigious history there of some trouble and how he got out of it. And it's quite interesting stories, and I want you all to check it out more. I'll be doing more on this, but I'm not actually going to cover more on the assaults unless they actually will continue with the cases. I'm going to follow through to see if stuff gets dismissed and see if he actually answers the allegations legally, and we will come forward with that. But as far as all the rest of the stuff, it's kind of like hype out there on this. But I do think some of the background is worth checking into, especially the tie-ins to some of the other things that have happened between the record companies and during his rise to power as a big mogul in somebody who made it out and made a big name for himself. And we've all, watched it in admiration and pride, from the East Coast. I don't want to think that he's one of the bad guys, but I think sometimes you got to be partly bad to get somewhere good. So I don't know how much of this is true and how it's not. It's all allegations, but it's definitely out there. Just, you don't read just one or two. You're not going to just look at TMZ and people. Like, you know, read the history stuff too, you know? Yeah. But, mm, hmm. Can you bedazzle the tower? Do you own a bedazzler? You know, that thing that puts all the gems on your clothes and stuff like that and pillows and things? Because if you do, you surely can bedazzle the tower. Go for it. Go for it, Mousy. Huh, Mandy, if you find one, I want to know. There's got to be some online tarot game where you could pull cards for people in chat, and then we can all comment on what we believe the cards would read. That could be interesting. I would definitely do that. Like, I would, because like interpretation would be wonderful, and just like making scenarios about it would be fun. It sounds very creative. Like, yeah. You're welcome, Karen. Thank you for being here and supporting. I appreciate it. Oh, you're done with all the arts and crafts? Me too. Mousy, I used to actually have a whole room dedicated to scrapbooking. Shh. Yes. Shh. I'm going to ruin my reputation. That's a true story. It's a true fact. It doesn't exist anymore. But, yep, I had one. Hmm. Don't even bother to ask me how many finished scrapbooks I did, because, like, they're all started. Not one of them's finished. Yep. Mm. Do you shill? Send me the link. Yeah, ha ha, Darth, that's a good one. Last time I tried to pick up my cards, they were very heavy. Aren't they always, Darth? Aren't they always? And that goes for all of us. All of us. Yep. All right. I can't. Arts and crafts, rabbits. It's such a hokey, corny story. Like, I can't. Like, someday, someday. Let's just say when I get into something, like I really, really get into it. Like, mm, mm. On that, if there are no more questions in regards to the two cases we were going to talk about, which we really just did commentary on, because legally they are just in the beginnings, just stuff is dropped. Although Scofield's been going on for a while, the update, well, it was rather interesting. Let's just say Miss Guillard should have checked with the psychist before filing those papers. And maybe she needs a new one. I mean, that's a good question. Like, if you've got psychic abilities, can you get new spirit guides? Do the spirit guides choose you, or do you choose them? And if you're not happy with your spirit guides, can you trade them in? Is there a process? Hmm. Like, I don't know enough about this to actually say, but it does sound interesting. I don't know. Mm. Hey, thanks, Liam. Thank you very much. Yeah, Tony, the dark arts and witchcraft. No, like I don't want to get into the dark of anything, like, actually, but I know, I hear things, I see things, everybody talks about things, but do I want to bring forth anything that's like, I do believe in the fact that we are what we do and what we surround ourselves with, even in attitude and how we, cultivate our environment and stuff. So I try to stay away from all of that. I, you know, it's too easy for me to get negative to begin with, because, I always say this, the world can be quite shite. My nan used to say, attitude is everything. So pick a good one. You kind of drive, we're swimming through it all the time anyway. Bad things happen to good people, stuff like that. Well, I don't want to purposely go investigating into like really dark situations that could do me harm, you know. Mediums commune with a single spirit, usually a specific one. They're all largely quacks. Psychics kind of commune with all the spirits as one energy. Oh, so it could be more than one in there, like giving her a go, like just leading her astray. Like, are they just having a go? Are they like taking the piss on these women, like the psychic spirits and stuff? Because they're truly leading her astray here. Like, she's going to end up in some financial trouble. Yeah, I do feel, that it would be nice for her to like give up the show and, act right. I do think a large part of this, I will say this, is not actually something she truly believes, but it's her gimmick for making money on TikTok. And as long as she pushes against it, she keeps making money. Like, because people are out, like, I can't, like, just like us, we're all sitting here going, I can't believe she's doing this. Like, and we got to go check it out, right? You got to go check it out. You got to go find out. That's clicks, views, and money. Okay, that's success as far as pulling her TikTok channel forward, And the longer she gets payout for it, she's going to keep doing it, of course, until she ends up having to pay all that money to Rebecca Scofield in this lawsuit. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oh no, I don't think so, Liam. Oh gosh, I hope not. Yep. Anyway, that's it. Okay, that's it for me here. Okay. Mm. Listen, Liam, you're a good guy. We're going to have friends. You've got internet friends for sure, you know. I don't know. Like, I was wondering if in the civil lawsuit that Rebecca Scofield or the judge would come forward and ask for competency. I don't know if Rebecca Scofield will, because she just wants to win the case, and the nuttier she is, the more chance she's going to win. But I wonder if the judge is going to put forward that perhaps this person needs to have some competency. But the fact that she's filing her own motions and she's doing it, well, not really like a joke. She's actually seriously filing them, and she's filing them correctly, maybe on the not the right time or in the right venue for like what they're dealing with, but she's making decent argument. I mean, like I say, she filed against all three types of jurisdiction and venue. Um, and had a point that she made for each one. Of course, it wasn't a very good one, but the procedure and the technique were all there, and the right attitude. So I don't really think they're going to be able to throw her out on incompetence, you know. But on that, all right, it's been too long on this. I'm going to go. Hmm. Yeah, some of us, when we hear psychic, do actually replace it with that, because we all hear the stories about the people that don't that are just out there with it and kind of crazy. But I will say this: there are the other stories too, where you just can't explain how people know what they know, and we've all been in that situation where you know what you know and you can't explain it. Okay, whether that be intuition or just the way we take in our surroundings or whatever. We've all been there. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to put it down. I'm going to say that there are some things in this world that we can't explain, but I'm not going to get all woo woo about it, you know, because I'm rather nerdy on the other side about things mostly. But I could not deny that, and I don't think anybody can actually deny that. Okay, it's impossible to explain everything. Is there an explanation for everything? Perhaps, perhaps not. On that, I'm out. Okay. In there seems to be quite a few links of these tarot things. Everybody have fun. Don't anybody start a TikTok and get a defamation suit though, okay? Like, yeah, I don't want that coming back on me. That's my disclaimer. I highly recommend not getting a defamation suit against you, regardless of what the cards or the spirits tell you. Okay, I wouldn't do it. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I'll see you again during the week. I got more to say, but I just don't know what day I'm going to say it on. So, everybody, have a good one. Go see Mousy on Wednesday and Shenanigans on Thursday. I believe Darth has another one of his laws coming tomorrow. He does Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I know that because I go and watch them. And for everybody else, you know, just hang in, be around the people that bring you joy, hang in the chats where you can have a good time and not get attacked, you know. And like I said, Nan says attitude is everything. So make sure you pick a good one. All right. I'll see you all later. Thank you to my mods. Thank you, everyone.